Karen has got her trousers on. She's got her Eeyore pyjama bottoms on.
We are live and Karen is in her Eeyore pyjama bottoms. Welcome to Cellar Ladies. I don't know whether it's sunny where you are, but it's almost sunny here Friday afternoon. So yeah, Karen, just to give you some context, before we went live, Karen said, if I tell you this, you can't tell anyone. I've got my pyjama bottoms on. Alex said, you've not met me, have you? Karen, will you show the people your pyjama bottoms, please, so they believe us?
Come on, let's go. Am I back far enough yet? Hang on.
No, a bit more. No, we can still see you. Way!
Hang on, in solidarity with Karen, I've got my pyjama bottoms on too.
It would have been brilliant if they were the same ones, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be excellent if people wear matching ones?
I've got leg warmers on.
Leg warmers.
Hey.
That's awesome.
I'm just wearing jeans on.
Andrea's naked. Down.
No, I've got my jeans on.
Yeah,
jeans
looking very rock chick as usual.
I'm a bit chilly actually. It's gone with a cold.
We have got loads of people in the chat, so I'll have a quick rattle through. We've got Ryan Stewart, me, I'm there. I don't know what I'm doing there. Karen, you're there as well. Kay Gilson, Nia, Kath Palmer, Craig the Monocle, Rebecca Turner, Mr. Blobby, Helen. Hi, Helen. Lex's favourite Lebanese. Christine Davies, Rebecca Harris, Lisa J, Alison Jones, Derek, Mizzy, Darryl, Antoinette, Patricia, Mum of 5 Sons. 2 kids, 2 cats, 1 dog and a job. I'm glad you went for something catchy with your new username, Karen. Glad you went for something snappy. That's Karen. Joy Dickinson, who says, I'm not a reseller but love your vlogs. Oh, hello, Joy, welcome. Sharon Harris, Janet Plant, Lisa Marshall, Queenie Conquest, Lex.
Mother of Norman.
Lovely. Claire James, Auntie Sue, Intelligent Zombie, Julie Coey, Jackie Funstuff, Laura Eccleston, Siebel. Have I got there? Have I missed it? I'm sorry if I've missed you. It's shot off again. Anne Baker. Kath's also in her pajamas, Karen, but she is now allowed downstairs.
Oh, good.
Downstairs with new knee brace and permission to start bearing weight on bad leg. Go Kath. Go Kath. You'll be running 5Ks before you know it. Did you run 5Ks before, Kath? Shiv, Rachel, Anne Lancaster, Bumblebee, Deb Brads, Joan, Fandria, Granny Kate. Have I got everyone? I'm sorry if I've missed you. Shelley Joe, Julie Pearson, Salzguest, Aid, Sexy Aid. If I've missed you, I've missed you. I've run out of air now. Good night. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello.
And with me on today's Cellar Ladies, as you already know, because you know all these lovely ladies, we've got Karen in pajamas, Kelly also in pajamas, Lex looking extremely glamorous to the point where I actually removed her from the stream at one point because I'm like, if you're going to look sexy, you can't be on. And then I realised that I, by inference, meant that everybody else didn't look sexy, so you all look better than me, if that makes you happy. Heather looking very rock chick. Where are my fingers going? There. And of course, Andrea Hills, the famous Andrea Hills, who's married to some bloke who nobody knows about.
No, nobody knows him. Yeah, I'm just t-shirt and jeans today, not glam at all.
You look very glam all the time, Andrea. And you've got a Rock Chick Aerosmith t-shirt on, I think.
Yeah.
Unless it's just an Air t-shirt with a chocolate bar on it. No, it says Aerosmith.
Yeah, it is Aerosmith.
Have you noticed how I didn't feel a thing? I've not got a lot of feeling in those. Deb Brads wants to give a shout out to Professor Lex Fantastic, please, and big hugs. Started keto a week ago and lost 9 pounds. Super job. Well done, Deb Brads.
Well,
fantastic. 9 pounds.
Yay. That's brilliant. Not too good, actually.
Sorry.
Come on.
Lainey's in. Hi, Lainey. Kay Gilson's made a quiche and her husband gave it 11 out of 10. Now that's a score, isn't it? Well done, Kay. Send me a slice. I've only started making quiches because Caroline let me down so badly on the quiche deliveries.
Quiche to go. Went. Yeah.
So we thought we would just wing it today. So we haven't really got a subject in mind, because I'm a bit crap. So it's on my channel, as you can see, and I think I was supposed to have some ideas, and I forgot completely it was on my channel until last night when people went looking forward tomorrow, and I went, oh, what's happening? So, So we haven't really got a channel. We haven't really got a theme. However, just before we went live, I thought perhaps we could talk about when the moment you realised you've got too much stock and what you do about it. Because 5 minutes before I came into the StreamYard studio, I was trying to put my shoes away in my new shoe storage, which is these grey picking boxes here. They've arrived this morning. I've discovered I've got too many damn shoes to go in them, so I've slapped on a 30% sale off everything. So have you guys got too much stock, or do you think you've got just the right amount of stock, or is there always room for more tact? How do you feel about it? Let's start with I can't do this. You there, that one, Karen.
I've got plenty of room at the minute because I'm only on 80 live listings, and I've probably got about 40 items to list. So I've got plenty of room at the minute, but I have got rid of all my menswear, pretty much, nearly all of it. Somebody bought the whole lot, and it was good because there was a big box full of men's shirts, which I just kept moving around the room and not actually doing anything with. So they're gone now.
It wasn't listed. You didn't delist it and get rid of it. You just had never got around to listing it in the first place.
I got rid of 70 items and 30 of them were listed. So 40 weren't.
Did you just decide you hate menswear? Was it just like, I don't love this?
Very slow to sell.
Bloody stop.
Very slow.
Yeah.
See, we don't know if you're putting your hand up to ask a question or a grope, Lex.
No, she's putting her hand up to say something mean.
No, I was just going to ask, does it kind of grate you a little bit that the person that you sold it on to has had 2 sales from them? Were they from ones that you've listed or ones from ones that you didn't list?
One of the sales that she had that was 25 quid, I couldn't get rid of that for a tenner.
Wow.
I had it listed for a tenner for ages and she sold it for 25.
It's very weird, isn't it? Very, very weird.
Yeah.
It just shows how like that, the whole spotlight thing and the, putting on new listings and, the way that someone photographs something all makes a difference, doesn't it?
I'm not gutted because I made a small profit and I'm happy with what I sold it to her for. So I'm happy.
I'm happy to have the space and happy to see it gone and all the rest of it. Yeah. Indy's solution for too much stock is put it in the bath.
Oh, yes.
And Karen says she's got too much unlisted stock, but she still can't stop buying more. Karen needs an intervention.
Does Indy have 2 baths?
I hope so. Either that or she's really silly.
Yes, she has.
Oh, that's okay then, because, because I like a nice bath and I certainly wouldn't keep my jewellery in it. It would be very lumpy to sit on and that wouldn't be nice.
And some could go missing and that would be awkward. Although, imagine if you pulled someone and they found it. They would think that you were literally made of gems.
I'm so good, I poop.
Yeah, Kelly, tell us about your stock. Have you got enough, too much, far too much, too little?
I haven't. I've got plenty in my def pile, which I don't want to list. Not much nice stuff in my shop, but I do have plenty of storage, so it's not in the way. That makes sense. Yeah, and I've already said on Nick and Andrews, I'm going to take most of it to the car boot and more or less start all over again.
So when you go on a cull, is that your go-to measure? It's go to the You don't go through reducing and then auctioning and.
If it's already listed on eBay, if it's never made it onto eBay in the first place, then it goes to the car boot, and I tend to give everything away at the end, so I don't come back with anything.
I've tried that and failed in the past. I've literally tried saying to the house clearance guys, "Do you want the rest of my stall?" And they've gone no.
You have to bellow. Everything's free.
Yeah, literally, it's everything. I don't want anything for it, and they've gone no. I still don't want your crap. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I just bellow, everything's free, free, and they come like locusts and just clear the whole lot for you. So, but once I've decided I don't want it, then it's gone. It don't bother me. I don't get hung up on what I've paid for stuff or.
Karen says she pulls and bundles some of her lower value stock that hasn't sold. Always tends to go on auctions, not for massive profit, but makes room for more. And Daryl's inferring that Indie Chick washes in the B-day, I think. So
Or
Andrea, sorry, Lex.
that he also keeps his stuff in the bath, but he's got so much he keeps it in the bidet as well.
You could keep your small stuff in the bidet, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Josh should probably get most of his stock in a bidet.
Rinsing things off. If things need a clean, you can rinse it off in the bidet, couldn't you?
Yeah, I feel like. So all just thinking outside the box. Andrea, stock, too much of it?
Yeah.
Just you, not Nick.
What was that question you asked before about when did you realise that you had too much stock? I think about 2002.
I've still got that same stock now.
No, I don't have the same stock. But yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with it, really. I mean, it's seen us through lockdown and not being able to source. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely stopped feeling bad about my death pile when lockdown happened. Not in a smug to everybody else way, but in a less guilty to myself way. So before I'd been carrying all that death pile guilt, all that I've got all this, I'm not listing it and I feel terrible about it. And now once lockdown started, I was like, I don't feel bad about it at all now. Still not listing it. Nothing's changed. I just don't feel
Yeah, I keep getting people messaging me saying, "Have you listed so and so yet?" from the video, and I'm like, "No, no, but if you want it."
Yeah.
I did actually have a message about the photo album from Sunday's haul, and somebody said, "Could they have it?" And I replied on the YouTube comment, but they haven't got back to me. So if you're in, let me know. Heather, let's ask you about surplus stock. And
I think I was kind of hitting, because I'd gone a bit mad before the lockdown, kind of knowing that was going to happen. I went a bit berserk, so I did have a lot of stuff. I've worked my way through most of that. There are a couple of things. I've got some handbags that I haven't had the heart to list yet because there's more wrong with them than there should have been. But I really need to get them on and get the money back for those. And I've got sort of little bundle. I was doing big bundles of stuff, but the market's kind of gone out of that. So I'm now doing smaller bundles on local Facebook, which is a bit of a pain. But if they don't go on local Facebook, I'll buy them on eBay because I'm still getting some stock in from this lady, but the quality is very variable. I have to throw away quite a bit. But you know, yeah, I'm still sort of ploughing through. I have got jewellery I haven't listed, and it's because I was waiting on the phone that turned up so that I can take really nice pictures, because I couldn't get decent pictures before no matter what I did. So I'm hoping that will mean I can start maybe having a bit less clothing, because it takes up a lot of space, and a bit more of the jewels that I love so much.
everybody seems to be into jewellery.
I've always loved it.
You've all gone magpie during lockdown.
Not me.
Not me either. No.
I've collected it, but find it very difficult to sell because I like to keep. So now it's.
I think the thing is, you can have so many listings with jewellery, and it doesn't take up much space.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to have a love for it, really, haven't you? Because it's like anything; it gets tedious after a while.
And I think a desire to learn, which I have. I have no desire to learn anything ever in my life. This has been a problem my whole life. My teachers would have told you that she doesn't want to learn things.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I do love to learn about it, and I've always collected jewellery, and I've always really loved it, even if I can't actually physically wear it. But the thing is, I guess in my head, I've got a longer term plan. I mean, I'm not exactly a spring chicken. And there's a part of me that thinks there's going to be a point at which I don't want to have to deal with the amount of physical stuff and hefting that I have to do in the garage. So my very long term plan is to move over to much more small stuff, bric-a-brac and jewellery. I'm talking a big long-term plan, not this year or what have you, but within the next few years. So I think that's probably why I haven't listed so much, because I've kind of waited for the market for jewellery has really picked up, but it's going to continue to be there because people have realised how lovely it is to buy online. That market wasn't there a couple of years ago. It was in America, but it's kind of taken a while to hit over here. So I'm really hoping that that's my slightly longer-term game plan of easier to manage stock. So, yeah.
Okay, and on to Lex, who we know has got far too much stock.
It's not too much. It's exactly the right amount. No, I mean, I've got like, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 and 100 unlisted bits. But but that's 3 boxes there. And if I wanted to, I could do all of that in a week, if I wanted to. But whereas, I did used to be very much like get it, list it, leave it, done. That's it. And I'm still very much the list it, leave it, done. But I don't mind having a big pile of it now to leave before I've listed it,
So you haven't changed your strategy for clearance then of stuff that's been listed a while or anything?
Oh God, no. No, like that it can stay there forever as far as I'm concerned. Once it's up, I don't do a shodden thing with it.
You never do any price reductions?
No, nothing ever. I mean, I tried. When I got frustrated the other week, I was like, right, I'll put a sale on all the clothing. They can just bloody have it for pennies. I don't care. I don't want it anymore. And then, because that was just a gut reaction, like a knee-jerk reaction to an annoying, case that was open. That actually ended up being all right, and she left me positive feedback. So it was very much knee-jerk reaction that was kind of uncalled for in the end, which doesn't sound at all like me. That's not anything that I would do.
You're always such a calm, measured, thoughtful person.
I know spontaneously and rash like that. But then, like, the sale didn't work anyway, as in, like, it actually didn't activate. And so I was like, oh, just cancel it. Because I thought, I've got loads of space in my garage. Why am I planning on getting rid of stuff where there's actually no need to? I've got space. In fact, most of those boxes are half empty, and I could condense it even more, And I've bought 4 boxes or 5 boxes to put my jewelry on a new shelf. And that's it. Like, I'm fine.
Sue Bad Wolf says she spent lockdown downsizing her top tier shop to a medium shop, gone from 17,000 listings to about 2,000.
Wow.
Now, Susan hang on a minute, whose teeth are these? Susan sells mainly postcards, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And I know you were saying, Sue, that you were going to bundle, but that's still a big, 15,000. Have you just bundled for other postcard sellers? So, or have you had a big fire?
Wait a second. Is Sue Crew actually Ken Chapman disguised?
Sue, are you Ken Chapman? I claim my £5. Show me age now. Rachel Bean says, surely there's no such thing as too much stock. There is if it's the wrong stock. That's the thing. If it's the stuff you picked up and you thought was going to be brilliant and it isn't. Like I've just discovered I have too many shoes. And the reason I know that that's too many shoes is I'm looking at them going, I don't remember buying these. Yeah. They've been listed for so long that they've gone from when I was in the other bedroom. They were stored in there, and then they went up to the loft for a year, and they were stored up there, and then they went to the office for a year, and now they've come here, and they've been back here for a year. They've been listed 3.5 years. They're plainly not good shoes that anybody wants. So,
but they're very well travelled.
They've probably worn out the shoe leather in them. But that's another thing as well, of course, with rubber sole shoes. I mean, a lot of those are hotter. They could have perished in the time that I've had them. They could have been fine when I listed them. And by now, if I bend the soles, they could be crumbling. So I've got to get a real hang on reducing stuff sooner, and not just leaving it to sit and rot. Really, that's something I've got to have a word with myself about. Our Lainey is going out this afternoon. I've got feedback somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay, going out this afternoon for the first time in 2 weeks. Can't wait to get out of this bed. I'll be avoiding all lampposts, though. I should think so too.
Yeah,
going around mucking up business.
And go do some nice window shopping as well in computer shops and things, and go. Ooh.
Yeah, go and choose a new lappy.
Yeah.
So we've been selling them off in bundles, and it's kept the cash coming in.
Cool.
Do you look through your own shops? Because I do. When I get bored of seeing stuff, that's when I tend to get rid. If I'm bored of seeing it going round and round. We don't see it so much now. It's on good till cancelled. But when they used to end and relist.
Yeah, I tend to look at stuff that's like 3 months old or more, like once a month or something, and just either do something with it, either mark it down or decide on whether I want to get rid of it or not. So, yeah.
So that makes me think: am I lazy and very just complacent? That I You stay there.
Yeah, I don't do much with mine. I don't do a great deal with mine. I just get the 50 oldest every now and again and stick a 10% off on them. But it doesn't seem to necessarily sell them. But it helps other stuff shift. But whether that effect will continue, I've no idea. But I'm fairly lazy too. Once it's on, it's like, oh, someone will buy it, someone will want it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
At the end of the day, as a woman not so many miles away, as said over and over again, if it works for you, then that's okay. Yeah. It's only when I realise it's not working for me that I go, oh, buggered up, haven't I? I've done a boo-boo. I've got too many shoes and they're all shit. So,
yeah. I think that's it. It's like at the moment, like just speaking for myself, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's all right at the moment. If it starts going tits up, then I'll, have a reconsider about things. But make hay while the sun shines, isn't it? It's all right. It's all right now, isn't it?
Queen Mother of Norman wants to say, Heather, I just got a new phone, iPhone SE 2020. Anything with 2020 in it was going to be a disaster. Sorry to say that. 2020, not a good sign. So disappointed with the camera company trying to shoot jewellery. Oh no. Don't throw it through the window because windows cost money too.
She should have got the iPhone 11 Pro because that has got a brilliant camera.
It's only £1,000. We should all have one.
Yeah, I'm very envious of that.
This was 150 quid. Yeah.
Missed it. Lockdown has been good for me. It's forced me to tackle stock I've had for years.
Yeah.
It's also forced him into tackling some of Andrea's stock against her will, hasn't it? You were saying the other week that he's coming to you and go, well, what can I have to listen? You're like, none of it. Get off.
Yeah. Yeah, I listed the cameras this week that have just sat there for a very long time. And sold 2 of them straight away, although one hasn't been paid for. So,
yeah. One of the better things, though, surely everybody knows about Packlink charging stupidly small.
Heather, yeah. Go on, do your thing.
Got to mention it. If you buy it through Packlink, which I don't always do, but I certainly am now because their price is something like £1.40 something for a small parcel. And even the 1 to 2 kilos is not much more. So, and it's till the end of June. So do check that out.
Is that for pickup only, or can you drop that off?
No, drop off.
Drop off. £1.45 for a small parcel for drop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pickup as well because I done a parcel this morning to be collected, and that was £1.45.
And hands up, who's reducing their postage costs? No, don't be daft.
I hope it's eBay that's swallowing the cost, though, rather than the couriers ending up being paid £2 per parcel instead of whatever they got before.
True.
I'm sure it is. It's an eBay-related incentive, so presumably it's them that's.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one because it's a very, very big departure from anything they've offered us before, isn't it? That's a big discount, and potentially for those who send many, many, many parcels, that's a huge saving and therefore a huge cost to them. So it's interesting that they've suddenly launched this. There was no warning. There was no.
Well, it's because they know that lockdown is coming to the end, and that maybe some people who have been using Packlink have had some issues, like we probably all have. They know that we'll probably go back to Royal Mail. So this is like a little, oh no, like we are okay. Like, so we'll be cheap and we'll get all of the people in that normally use Royal Mail and stuff to see what our service is like. And see,
Yeah, maybe that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, Queenie's got a good point there. She said about 2020, the disaster movie. I hadn't even thought about that. They actually
it'll happen.
Yeah, actually made a film about 2020, which was a disaster.
Yeah,
so that's what we're waiting for next, then, isn't it? It's the tsunami that'll come next.
The thing is, if you made a movie 5 years ago detailing what's happened in 2020, it would be so unbelievable. You would never. You'd be like, what are these on?
Well, Ellen pointed out that we've had lots of flooding, we've had fires, and now we have plague. So, we've gone back to biblical times. This is basically God going, look, I'm throwing all of this at you.
Oh, locusts.
Yeah,
locusts. Yeah.
There were a plague of locusts as well.
Oh.
And when's the brimstone coming? Because that's one of them, isn't it?
I don't want brimstone.
Brimstone.
I'm not
Not
keen on
sure
that
what's
one.
going
What
on.
else was it? What else do you get at the end of days?
Someone's made the dog very cross.
Yes.
Well, I can only assume it's Trump because he's made everyone else very cross. So
Yeah. We'll just blame him.
When do we get the space monkeys?
oh, I'd like those. I'd like those instead of the brimstone. You
Yeah.
could have a space monkey, couldn't you?
Space monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's in the mind.
Daryl said he's
Wait, I haven't read
reduced his P&P on pricier items and it's worked for him.
But how do you know? How do you
Yeah.
know that it wouldn't have sold anyway?
Because he's had it in
Yeah.
stock for 10 bloody years and it's got dust on it. That's why.
Yeah, I've been selling a bit of bric-a-brac as well, which is surprising because I've had it for quite a while. But my shelf is starting to have spaces on it now. I can't because I haven't been able to source bric-a-brac for forever. So
Yeah,
I've literally
I
got-
noticed my bric-a-brac line looking a bit sparser over the last couple of months because that's what I normally buy at the car boot is random junk. I don't buy clothing at the car
mugs,
boot.
Carla. Mugs. That's all I'm saying.
Hashtag Walmart. Emma says she checks what's ending every day and ends stuff that's had loads of views but no sales or has been on for ages. And then sell. That sounds like a lot of work, Emma. I don't think you're in the right place, love. You're tuning into the wrong channel.
Though. It seems to
Can't
be
do that
forever.
in
That's
700
great sales.
I just can't be doing with that. Like, I suppose it makes sense, but I am also just very much a, yeah. Yes.
False prophet.
We're the 6 seller ladies of the apocalypse.
I like the false prophet.
And Chris Tyler says we might get killer wasps, so that'll be something to look forward
Oh
to.
no.
Well, we've always got killer wasps somewhere in the world, especially if you read the Express or the Daily Mail or the Daily Fail, as we always used to call it.
No one actually reads the Daily Mail, though, do they?
No.
Daily Mail can't.
You can't read it because the moment you start reading it, you get filled with such indignation and judgmentalism that if you forget how to actually just spend your time on it.
And like any sensible person, I only read it for the comment section, which is just hilarious.
I've had to stop myself reading comment sections in various places recently because it's the comment section rather than even though the reported news has often been heavily biased, and I can feel the heavy bias in the reported news article that I'm reading. It is the comment section that boils my blood.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for now on, I'll just read the articles. I won't go to the comments section because that's not very good for me. You know,
I've taken to just reading Private Eye because that kind of cuts through all of the crap. Goes straight to ridiculous. It's brilliant.
Karen says she ends all day's listings each day and relist. It takes literally 10 minutes.
Yeah,
We know. We saw you.
Can't be asked even doing that.
No, I just leave mine to run and end. The only time I ever physically end something is if I'm drafting. Sorry, I've got a random hair that's really annoying me. If I'm drafting and for some reason my draft settings have been messed up, I don't know if I don't even know quite what I'm talking about, but when I draft, all my usual bits are there, so my price that I charge and blah blah blah. And sometimes if something has relisted, it will knock out my draft settings and it'll have reverted to 2 days dispatch instead of 3, or it'll have changed the postage or something.
No, that's weird.
And so then I have to go and I have to end another one and relist that one to reset my draft settings. I know what I'm talking about, but I can't make any sense of explaining it to you lot.
Complicated.
Rebecca says read the Daily Express for Rupert. Is Rupert still in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Rupert.
Garfield used to be in the Express as well, didn't it? I don't know if it still is.
Hagar. Was Hagar the Express or the Mail? Hagar the Horrible.
Oh,
Don't
I think that was the Express.
I know Snoopy Peanuts used to be in the Daily Mail when I was a kid.
Yeah. Calvin and Hobbes used to be in the Express as well.
Oh, loved Calvin
Loved
and Hobbes. Yeah.
Oh, and Andy Cap.
Yeah, I think that was the Sun.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
My gran used to get the Sun because she played the Sun Bingo. And I'm still not quite sure how that worked, but you got I don't know whether the card came in the paper. and then you had to buy the paper every day to get your numbers or something.
Yeah, my nan used to get the Express and my granddad would get the Sun because they both liked the different crosswords in each of them.
Yeah. I can't do cryptic crosswords. I don't know about anybody else, but my brain can't unravel it. And no matter how many times people try and explain to me, well, look, there's the answer, and it's because this means this, and apparently the only way you can do cryptic crosswords is if you know the tricks that are used by the setters. Well, that seems to be, again, a lot of work.
Yeah.
My stepdaddy buys and always has bought the Sun and the Mirror just for the crosswords. But he's that far behind with them. He's got a stack of out-of-date newspapers on the table waiting to do the crosswords in them. He doesn't read the papers, he just does the crosswords.
He could just get a crossword book.
The logical question is, why don't you just buy a crossword book? Because he spends a fortune on newspapers.
Yeah.
But no, he likes to do those in the paper. He's always has done, so he always will do.
It's habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not always logical habits.
No.
Lisa's got a proper grown-up question for us. Will you be returning to the car boots this week, and is anyone planning on charity shops next week? Of course, charity shops are opening from Monday, but not all, are they? Only some.
No.
Let's go to you first, because you look proper angry and pissed off about it all.
Well, we don't even find out if any shops are opening until the 18th.
Oh, so I knew that Wales had done differently on the easing of lockdown, but I didn't realise your shops were also doing it differently.
Yeah. So your shops generally will open on the 15th. We're having a possible announcement on the 18th of maybe a date in the future when some shops might open. We're still in lockdown here. We're still not allowed to go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. So it's great.
Do you find that frustrating, Lex, when you think that we can all go out? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, we all went in lockdown at the same time, and so now you lot are all allowed out and doing stuff. I mean, and I'm just like,
yeah, but look at it the other way, Lex. Maybe it's in reverse actually, that Wales are doing it better than us, and maybe we're just being a bit too soon.
Do you think the Welsh will end up as the master race when the rest of us have been wiped out and the Welsh
Yeah, Wales and Scotland.
no.
You'll be bugging if Wales and Scotland end up as the only survivors. I think the Scots will kill you. Because the Welsh are known for being a bit pacifist and the Scots are known for being a bit cross.
No,
So-
the Scots and the Welsh love each other. We're fine.
Do you think
maybe
so?
we will, yeah, maybe we will end up in the master race, but no.
Okay, Heather, what about you with charity shops and car boots since Lex is still grounded?
Yeah, I'm not grounded, but there's no sign of any of the car boots opening up down here. I don't know why. What's the matter with Kent and West Sussex, or East Sussex, I should say, but there doesn't seem to be anything much happening. So still holding fire on that. Regards to charity shops, one or two may start to reopen next week, but I can't see it being. I mean, a lot of them still have the old stock that they had in before they shut down in there. So it's all going to be. I've got to take a wander on Monday anyway because I've got a Royal Mail parcel to post, bizarrely. So I'm probably going to have a bit of a nose on Monday and see what I can see. But I'll have my mask on, but I'm not anticipating great things. I think it's going to take them a long time to get their acting gear and actually get some decent stock in.
Yeah.
Andrea, you've been more reticent about going forth and multiplying, not that, about going forth and going out into the world as it is. So this is an interesting one to ask you.
Yeah, I think we will be going back to the boot sales. Now we know what it's like and we know how to cope with it. We will be doing that. I don't think we'll be rushing to charity shops just yet, but we don't really need to. So, yeah.
Did you do a lot of charity shop sourcing before? I mean, obviously I've seen videos where you did it out, but
it was more a fun thing. Yeah, it was more something that we did for fun. It wasn't like our main sort of, didn't get most of our stock from charity shops. So it was just
quite
something to do
expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, that's me. I'm a pop in and see if there is anything wonderful, but quite often come out with barely anything.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not a pop in and come out with 6 bagfuls.
Yeah.
Even on days when I go sourcing with maybe Lex and Caroline, I'll be the one who's only bought a couple of things because I'm tight. I'm really, really tight. I'm like, you want £3? £3? I pay less than that in the field.
I wait for the £2 days.
Yeah.
Sale days. Then I come out with an armful of good stuff. But generally, it's more curiosity and being able to go out and have a mooch, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly, what about you? Charity shops, are they on your radar?
Yeah, hopefully the charity shops will open from next Monday, and I will be going and having a look round because I've been to 3 car boots. 3?
People 3.
That was before.
Stay down. 3 car boots since they opened back up, and they've all been rained off. So it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yesterday was called off. We did go, and I did get a few bits, but it forecast rain, so hardly anybody turned up again to sell. So yeah, not the great start to car boot season that I imagined, with all these bolos and vintage stuff.
Off
and
you were going for your truckloads of stock.
Yeah, so I think it's a case of needs must. I might have to go to the charity shops. And I always bear in mind, if I was to source off eBay, you've got to pay the postage. So yeah, it doesn't seem so expensive then.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the amount of people in the comments that said, why did you wear a mask at the boot sale?
On your video.
It's so silly to wear a mask outside. My answer was because that was in the rules. We were asked to wear a mask. There it is.
Yeah, but if you hadn't wore a mask, you'd have still got comments saying, why haven't you wore a mask?
Yeah.
Can't win.
In general rule these days, you can't please any of the people any of the time, I've discovered.
So don't bother to tell them all to fuck off.
Karin, charity shops. Now you volunteered in one prior to lockdown. So what will happen there with you? Will you go back to volunteering or?
I messaged the manager last night. She hasn't replied to me yet. Saying obviously she knows my situation anyway, saying that I can't really go out yet. And if she wants me to help and do any sorting out at home, I don't mind doing that. If she wants to drop some sacks off, I said, or if she wants to drop some stuff off and I'll tell her what I want to buy out of it. Or I asked her to ask her manager if I could buy something at a reduced cost, but I suppose she's got to wait and find out from her manager, because I volunteered in the one charity shop that doesn't reduce anything, which is really, really annoying. So you had to pay the price that there was. There was no pound rail, reduced rail, nothing went in a sale. They never had anything. So.
Sorry, that's me.
Hello, Heather?
I can't even see myself to mute. Hang on.
What? Yeah, there.
Yeah.
So I'll wait and see what she says, basically.
Yeah. And
I miss the mooching. I absolutely used to love going around the charity shops. I go different areas, usually with Darren, and I really miss that. And
does Darren enjoy it, or does he just do the long-suffering husband part?
Darren is actually pretty good. If we go on our own and we don't take Monty, he'll come in with me and look at the DVDs and all that. And then he waits patiently, and then he carries everything for me. So he is really good, because he knows that I know what I'm doing and I need to concentrate on what I'm doing.
Every home should have one.
No. Oh my God, he would die if he thought he was under the thumb. He would tell you he's certainly not. And in this house, he thinks he's the boss.
He thinks
that's the trick, Corey.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Don't let him know.
Carrie says they've got no car boots in Devon, but Glitter Sunflower says their two in Essex are up and running again. Christine says none in Dorset as far as she knows. Granny Kate said she had a charity collection bag through the door this morning, so that's a start. Yeah. Craig says I'm too used to fill a bag. He's referring to me saying that I'm too tight. It's not so much to fill a bag. I'm not obsessed with the 6p level that Josh is at, but I do tend to look at my stuff and go, car boot paid £1, car boot paid 50p, car boot paid £1, car boot paid 50p. And then so when you then go into the charity shop and they're like £5.99, you're like, really? I get a lot of things for £5.99.
Yeah.
Christine says she wore a mask in M&S today. It just makes her feel bad. That's it. A lot of it is about your own peace of mind, isn't it? And
I think I look cool in mine. I look like a bandit.
Yeah.
You look lovely in Peter Stringfellow's pants. You do.
Yeah. Only Shelley will get this, but when Ellen was wearing hers, I said, "You're just living out your full bandito life right now, aren't you, Ellen?"
Totally.
Queenie says she wears a mask everywhere. I couldn't give a toss what anyone thinks, even at a car boot, even to bed at night, even to the loo.
The thing is, you see, if everybody at the boot sale was wearing one, we'd all be protecting each other. I know people are saying that it doesn't give you much protection, and it doesn't if someone stood there breathing on you and they're not wearing a mask. But if everybody did it, we'd all be protecting each other, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's not for protecting yourself; it's for protecting others from you. And it's that pee analogy, isn't it? Which I've mentioned before, which is that if neither of you are wearing trousers and one of you pees outwardly, it's going to get on both of you. Whereas if both of you are wearing trousers, the person who does the peeing keeps the pee. So the same applies to the sneezing and the coughing and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Didn't they say there was going to bring out a compulsory order if you went in any shops that you had to wear a mask, or have I just made that up? I know they have on public transport,
haven't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they're going to make it. I mean, if I'll wear one, if I have to wear one, I'll wear one. So I've bought one off Karin to wear, and I've got the one that Shiv sent me as well. I think I've got two that Shiv sent me. I don't love it. I must confess, I'm not massively happy inside the mask, so I'm not wearing it unless at the moment I'm not wearing it unless I feel like I ought to be, rather than want to be.
Yeah, my cousin is a carer, and she posted on her Instagram yesterday about the sort of downsides of wearing a mask, in that you're breathing back in your carbon dioxide, and that you're not getting as much oxygen as you need, and actually, if you wear it for too long, can lower your immune system. And
certainly wearing it at my mum's for a day made me realise that by the end of the day I was coming out with a headache and a very wobbly head feeling, and I thought that's because I've been breathing back in my own carbon monoxide or whatever it is, isn't it?
It fogs up my glasses. I mean, that's the long and the short of it. I've got the very sort of the thin ones that go over the ears, and actually I found that when I was in a closed environment, that actually it happens less. And it's a bit less cloggy, but obviously the level of protection probably isn't quite as good. But it, as you say, it is more just to protect other people if you cough or something, in case you're one of these unaware people who happens to be a carrier who's asymptomatic, which is, I think that's the thing that's been underplayed so much, is that's a huge part of this.
Nick, as he just said, was really struggling with that, and he was trying really hard not to touch his mask, but he was having to sort of adjust the top bit and stick it under his glasses, and so he could actually see what he was doing.
Here's two very good reasons to wear a mask. Look, Shell says people can't tell if you're grimacing at them if you're masked up. This is a point. You can literally be blank from the eyes and just doing what you want below there. And Queenie points out that you only have to do your mascara. Don't have to worry about the rest of your face.
And if you have some lunch beforehand, you can't see if there's anything in your teeth.
I do think we're going to get some very strange tan lines, aren't we, over the summer? We're going to have a half and half tan.
A couple of people asking there, when am I allowed back out? I don't know. I'm in regular contact with the diabetic clinic. They've been so good. They've been really, really good. They've been ringing me regularly because they are very concerned about mental health as well as physical health. So they have been monitoring me in that. And I said to them, do you know when? And she said, we still don't know. So as far as I'm being told, I've still got to stay in. So
Mum's had a letter that she's not allowed out until August the 16th, which she just kind of that. Here she goes, bollocks.
Exactly.
Leah says she thinks you should wear. I can't. Sorry. I appear to have lost speech. I'm going to go again. Try and help people. Nia says, I think you should wear masks in shops. No masks should mean no entry. We all need to play our part. Just my humble opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Nick says he feels like a bank robber when he wears his mask, and he felt around with the prices he was getting as well.
Yeah, my mum said we look like Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh. There's another one from Lisa. Are any of you forming a bubble with another household? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it should be done differently? Now, this is interesting because this bubble thing is the most recent announcement, isn't it? And I do think every new announcement comes with a new set of words that we've never bloody used before. I've never had a support bubble in my life, you know. So we'll go down first then, because Lex wants to talk bubbles.
Because the new rule is that if you are single, you can go into someone else's house and have sex with them.
Yes.
Whether they want to or not.
Only supportively, love. Only supportively. And I think they have to be up for it, love. I think you might have made the last bit up.
No, they didn't mention anything about that.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit on this morning, and somebody phoned in and said, I'm torn between, it was obviously an older lady, and she said, I'm torn between forming a bubble with my boyfriend or with my grandchildren. I don't know what to do.
Can you alternate your bubble?
No, I think that's the entire point of it, is that you are allowed to form one bubble. But if you alternate your bubble, then you're just seeing people. That's just seeing people, which is what we all did all along.
The boyfriend goes and lives with the grandkids.
That could work. I don't know if we're allowed to go and live with other people anymore, though.
We discussed it, and we only really had sort of two bubble options, which was my mother-in-law, and she's going to bubble with my daughter, with my sister-in-law, which we thought would happen anyway. And there's Darren's best mate, but he works in a care home, and Darren said he doesn't want to risk, you know, he's in regular contact with a lot of people. He doesn't want to risk him coming here and giving anything to me. So we haven't really got anyone else to bubble with.
Is it just a crafty way of them going, like, yeah, that means we can get out with seeing Karen?
If one of my nieces or nephews, like, they probably won't know, because they'll be, I mean, my nieces and nephews will probably be going to Darren's other sister. I don't know. So, you know, if anyone wants to, they're quite welcome. If any of my in-laws are watching, you're quite welcome here if you want to, but you've just got to come here and nowhere else.
Ever. That's it. It's Karen's flat. No supermarkets, nothing, ever. Just Karen's place. However, she will order all your shopping for you, and you'll never have to pay for anything again. And she'll cook all your meals. So, you know, win-win. I have no idea what this comment means.
I think it was just me wondering what was in Lex's cup. She had a mother of cats cup, and I was having a look. But she's gone now.
Sorry, I'll be back in a sec.
Emma would like to bubble with Brad Pitt, apparently. I've never seen the thing with Brad Pitt. I've never seen it.
Me neither. Or George Clooney, for that matter.
No.
Oh, that's
the only time I liked Brad Pitt was in Fight Club.
Oh, Fight Club is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's raining.
The best film.
It is the best film.
I've never tried to bubble with anyone. Stay away from me. I must admit, I felt like that when somebody said you can bubble with people who've got children. I was like, no, thanks.
Why would you want to do
staying away from those people? I don't want to change that.
It's just so odd, all these rules, though, isn't it? And it's strange how they all come in on a date in the future. Like from the 15th, you can do such
on the 14th, you'll all die. But if you don't,
you can't do it on the 14th. Don't do it on the 14th. 15th, yeah, fine.
Okay, Abe says he has no idea about. He never knew about the bubble thing. Okay, so it's the latest thing, and the idea is that you could form one support bubble with either someone who lives alone or is a single parent of children. So I think it's supposed to stop us all getting lonely and you know and cracking up, basically. So yeah. So Aid, I mean, if you want a bubble, mate, you let me know. We'll bubble. Hashtag bit predatory. Hashtag sorry about that.
Aid likes a strong woman.
Just as well, eh? Actually, I'm a bit of weakling. Joan says she had a catch-up NHS letter day. She can now go for exercise from the 15th.
Yeah.
She can meet with another at 2 meters only outside. She cannot still go into shops or public places.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Mum's not allowed to do any of that. They just like, stay in.
You're Welsh.
Ooh.
You're Welsh.
Yeah.
They're breeding you into a master race. They've got to keep you safe.
So is Joan. Joan is Welsh as well.
Ah.
The values.
Oh, okay.
Well, that doesn't explain it then.
No.
Daryl also had not heard about the bubble. And yeah, Karen says it's to help people's mental health, which is the sentence I was grasping towards and didn't get there.
Exactly.
Ignore what I said about the nieces and nephews. I forgot it had to be a single person, so the nieces and nephews doesn't apply.
Single person or single parent and their children?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're under 18.
Right.
As long as the single parents are under 18, you can bubble with them.
Yeah, one of my friends is on her own, and I did go and see her. She's the lady who's very into jewellery, and she hasn't got any support bubble at all, or any support network. So I've kind of been doing that anyway, because you would, you know. But now I can do it officially. I can say I'm part of her support bubble.
My neighbour's painting his shed.
Is it raining?
I don't like the colour.
Oh, you don't like
I don't like the colour, and I feel like I should go and tell him because I look at it a lot. I spend a lot of time looking out of this window. I feel like I should stop it.
It's slim pickings with the shed colours, you know, because Darren bought some shed paint and he had the choice of brown or green. There was not much choice.
This is
What colour is it, Carla?
dark. I don't know. They probably call it dark oak or something on the thing, don't they? But it's dark.
Black.
Maybe it's meant to be black, but it's a bit wishy-washy if it's meant to be black.
I've got some black shed paint, but I haven't done mine yet.
It's not very cheerful. I might go out tonight when they're in bed and paint big yellow spots on it or something. Imagine if I did. Imagine if he got up tomorrow morning and his shed had come out in spots.
If you plant the timer up it and it's really dark, it will really show up. It sort of pops out against a dark background.
I was watching Garden Rescue yesterday, and they painted the shed dark green, and then they did like a camouflage thing on it, which is basically just splodges of 2 different shades of green, and it just looked hideous to my mind. It looked like they let a child free on it, you know. And I thought, okay, somebody's hired them and paid them a lot of money for this.
Sue says, Carla's eBay listing skills, colour, dark. That you have no idea how close that is. Quite often my response to things, when the ladies say, how should I describe this? And I'm like, nasty.
Good keyword.
Yeah. Well, I think Nick used grubby the other day, because I said to him, how did you describe it? I think I've had like a Disney plush doll, and I've been putting off listing it for ages because its wings are a little bit dirty, and I was going to put a bit of stain remover on it, but I haven't done it. So he's just taken it and listed it, and it's sold already, of course. And I said, well, how did you list it? How did you describe it? He said, I said the wings were a bit grubby. I just couldn't bring myself to list something saying it's a bit grubby. But it's sold.
Get to the description bit and it says, this is knackered. I wouldn't buy it if I were you. Ow! I've just trapped my hand between the arm of the chair and the corner of the desk. Oh, yourselves.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh. Nearly broke this hand yesterday. Can you see a bruise on there?
What did you do?
You know when you think this was a stupidly avoidable thing that I have done. So I stopped to put fuel in the car, and it had one of those blue roll dispensers on the end of the pump. And there was a long strip of blue roll that had worked itself out in the wind and was blowing around like crazy. And as I'm putting the fuel in the car, this strip of blue roll is wrapping itself around my face. So I've got the fuel pump in this hand, and I'm trying to get this thing off and I pulled off my face and flung my arm back and smacked the back of my hand into the petrol pump so loud that it went bong, 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 and everybody.
Oh wow!
Of all the avoidable things, it really, really is quite bruised, and it swelled up, and all my fingers went dead, and I was like, I should have just let the blue roll strangle me. I should have just put up with it.
Oh dear.
I am very, very accident prone.
The world is a dangerous place right now.
Julie says she stained her decking when she couldn't sleep one morning at 5 a.m. The neighbours got a shock as it was all done before they got up.
Oh yeah, that would be a freak you out, wouldn't it? Like,
Did I tell you a couple of weeks ago? My nephew thought he'd be really good and go around my mother-in-law's and paint her fence for her in this dark green paint. And it was quite a windy day, and it splattered all over next door neighbour's brand new white car.
No.
Damage apparently.
Oh,
So
no.
How much?
quite a few £1,000s worth of damage. I can't remember how many, but they weren't happy.
Oh, imagine coming out to your new car and finding that.
Who paints a fence when it's windy?
Who buys a
white
white
car.
car? Sorry,
Yeah, exactly. Who buys a white car?
Yeah,
a white car.
someone in Newcastle.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Lisa says, my dad would have painted the neighbour's shed, but instead he put a for sale sign with a ridiculous price, must be sold by Sunday, on the side of their house. They didn't know until someone knocked on the door and said, we'll take it. Her husband had gone to the bank to arrange a mortgage and everything.
No.
Man.
And then they have to
That's
move
not
out. Well, yeah, exactly. That proves my point.
Yeah.
Isn't it? White people.
Oh, dear. So I'm going to the car boot Sunday. Kelly, you'll be going Sunday?
Yeah,
Andrew, you
definitely.
Sunday or Saturdays. So you're just Andrea, you're not Nick and Andrea. You're just Andrea. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, we're going Sunday. There is one starting tomorrow, but there's also another like bric-a-brac sale somewhere else. So not sure which one we're going to yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we get some decent weather for it. I really don't like the colour he's painting that shed.
We're speaking to the person who runs our car boot on yesterday, and we're trying to talk him into doing a mid-week afternoon car boot tea time. And he thought it was a good idea, so fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Oh, starting at 3-ish?
Yeah.
Oh. I wonder if you would still get the amateurs, the people who...
You might get more, because some people can't get up at 9 o'clock, can they?
Exactly.
Sorry, Cal.
So you might get more because some people can't get up before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd prefer it.
I must admit, we've got an afternoon one in Bristol on a Saturday, but it's the one I rarely go to because it is trekking all the way over the other side of town. And because it's a Saturday lunchtime, it's a long trawl through traffic. If it were this side of town, I'd go to it all the time because an afternoon one is ideal, isn't it, really? But Shell says it's her third white car. She just likes white cars.
Someone else cleans it, I reckon.
Lisa says, don't know why nobody does a midweek evening after work car boot in the summer. Well, that's like those long summer evenings. You could be. I suppose it's just the time of day when people are winding down, though. Maybe.
Yeah, we never get weekday car boots here. I mean, Karen's just said it on the thing. I've never heard of anything that's anything other than a Sunday, really. So yeah.
We've got one in Gloucester, although he's struggling at the moment because they're really messing him about with his pitch, the poor man. But yeah, well, as far as there's no midweek ones in Bristol, and there was a Thursday one down in. It's either Burnham-on-Sea or Bridgewater. I'm not sure which. And there's been and that's a daytime one. And there's been times I've been like, shall I go down to that one? But it's a fair old trek for not knowing if it's going to be any good. Because when I went to the Gloucester one on a Wednesday, it was not my type of stuff. It was all Lex's stuff, all old shit, you know. So. Yeah, Sue says I want evening car boots. I can't get up that early in the morning.
Yeah, I was just thinking that an evening one and a Friday evening would be really good, and you could have like food stalls and like a licensed bar or something, and just make it like a really nice sort of summer evening, boot sale type evening out.
Yeah.
Get pissed and buy stuff.
Woo! Yeah. You know what they say, Andrea? Be the change you want to see.
That's true.
All you need is a field, and off you go.
Yeah.
Queenie says they've got a Tuesday one starting near them. Oh, and Lisa says my favourite car boot is Marksbury. Now, you've mentioned Marksbury to me before, Lisa. At 1 p.m, it's one that lets sellers set up in peace before the masses descend. I wish I could remember where Marksbury is, because I don't think it's a million miles from me.
Google it.
I'm Googling.
Where is it?
I live in England. Thanks, Google, that's great.
Yeah, Shelley said like a car boot festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
What's everyone's plans for this afternoon?
I was
Not a lot.
Sorry, I'm
today.
Googling.
I was thinking of maybe going live and sorting out silver scraps into little lots, maybe.
Okay.
That's what I fancy doing.
Yeah.
I thought I could go live doing it as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll watch.
So that answers your question then, Karin, because we're all going to watch Lex go live.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll watch, but I'm really excited because I have some new organisational stuff for my new kitchen drawers, which is 2 spice racks that fit inside the drawer, and I'm so excited to put my spices in them.
Oh, look at your little eyes lighting up.
Sorry, Karen fell out. I don't know what happened there.
Well, you go and do that, Karen.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, but look how happy she looks about it, look.
I know.
I'll show you a before picture of my corner because my corner's not messy anymore. It's got the new kitchen cabinet in it and 2 new shelves, and then I'll show you it when I've done, and it'll look really nice.
Can't wait.
You know what they say? If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
Just organising and putting stuff in where it, so it looks tidy.
That's what you like doing.
So she might be distracted and watch Lex. I've just discovered where Marksbury is, so I might go there. Is that where? Is that? It's a bit neck of Christ. My brain and my gob just don't work at the same time. Is Marksbury up and running again now, Lisa, or is this just your favourite when it does run, if you see what I mean? Oh, look, Sue says Lex can't feel up Carla anymore. Watch out, Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not feeling you up, Carla.
All right, it's not on right now, Lisa. Thank you. And Chris wants to know, will Carwyn be doing her hit Saturday morning show tomorrow?
I think I will, yes, because I said I would do it again this Saturday, so I will. So if any of you'd like to join me from 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Is this ironing live?
No, I haven't got any ironing.
Aww.
I might do a little bit of ironing.
Yes.
Possibly.
I mean, we could watch you dusting, or you could clean your shoes, or fold your knickers. Oh no, you don't wear knickers.
I could clean the sandals.
It'll be great. It will be great. Indy's got a rock and roll afternoon planned.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I have to do that every
Put it
day.
out there, Louise.
It is a weirdly satisfying thing, because it's gross and it's vile, but it's also very oddly satisfying. You're like, ooh, that's a big one.
Especially as I'm mulching right
The
now.
gunk that comes out with it, that's the worst.
Yeah. And on that note, on that classy, delightful note, I think we are going to say goodbye. So, thank you so much to everyone in the chat. Oh, Laura Girl says the cheddar car boot is starting Sunday. Oh,
Cheddar.
cheddar. On that note, thank you so much to everyone in the chat for joining us this afternoon. There are 166 people currently watching us talk about what we put up our plug holes, so you're welcome. If you haven't given me your thumb, I like a nice thumb. Always like a nice thumb. And Lex.
Like
I read your mind and thought you said it out loud. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. And awkward wave. Andrea wave.